Hey guys, All in Crypto here and welcome back ladies and gentlemen for another YouTube video. In this video guys, we're going to be discussing taxes. Boo! Yes, we're going to be talking about taxes and I'm going to be giving you an overview of what taxes you are going to be liable to pay on your crypto gains. Remember, before I start guys, I am not an accountant and I am certainly not your accountant. So if you are going to be filling out your tax returns, it is always advised to go to an accountant, a professional who is probably significantly more knowledgeable than me. This is just going to give you a brief overview to give you a rough idea of what you are liable to pay. It is illegal in the UK to not pay taxes. So make sure you pay those taxes because they go on a lot of useful things like roads, hospitals, and we just have a bit of a montage here of other things that your hard-earned money that you have to give up to the government in the form of taxes goes on. You know, we have a representation of a nice meal here. Of course, we have a private jet. They are essential. We have a palace. We have a system in the middle here that just turned out to be a complete waste of money. And then, of course, we have Boris Johnson. So remember, guys, pay those taxes. So what taxes apply to you and your crypto gains? I'm going to read a bit out from the government website because that is probably the most accurate source to get the information from the government themselves. So we will start. There are two. I'll give you a quick overview. There are two kinds of taxes you are going to pay. You are going to pay income tax if you are a miner, if you are in some cases, if you provide liquidity or if you get airdrops. But they're both a grey area. So mainly a miner, you will pay income tax, and if you get paid in crypto, you will also pay income tax. The vast majority of you will pay capital gains tax. So one lot of people will pay income tax, and one lot will pay capital gains tax. So in the vast majority of cases, individuals hold crypto assets as a personal investment, usually for capital appreciation in the value or to make a particular purchase. They will be liable to capital gains tax when they dispose of their crypto assets. And by dispose, they mean once you sell, on the point of where you have sold your crypto asset, you will technically owe taxes. And this can also be, let's say you buy Ethereum. Ethereum goes up by $200 from when you bought it or £200 from when you bought it, and then you swap it into another asset, you may be liable to pay capital gains on that £200 profit from Ethereum. Like I say, individuals will be liable to pay income tax and national insurance contributions on crypto assets which they receive from their employer as a form of non-cash payments, mining, transaction confirmation or airdrops. So if you get paid in crypto, you will pay income tax on it, and if you're a miner or you potentially provide liquidity or get airdrops, you may be subject to income tax as well. I'm going to try and keep this as simple as possible. There's a lot to taxes when it comes to cryptocurrencies, but it is a lot more simple than it may perhaps sound. Essentially, if you are an investor and you don't get paid in crypto in terms of your wage, or you're not a miner, you're just going to pay capital gains tax. And there's only really two brackets for capital gains tax, 10% and 20%. So capital gains tax. What we're going to do first, I think we'll cover the one that's going to take us the least amount of time, and that's income tax. If you're a miner or you get paid, you will pay nothing on £12,500. You will pay a basic tax rate of 20% from £12,501 to £50,000. The higher rate is £50,001 to £150,000, where you'll pay 40%. And the additional rate, just because you've been extra naughty this year and you've earned yourself a little bit more money, you'll pay 45% on anything over £150,000. So remember, that applies if you're a miner or if you get paid in crypto. Now, capital gains tax, which the vast majority of you are going to end up paying. Remember, you have a personal allowance of £12,500 on your income tax. You have a £12,300 allowance on your capital gains. So you don't pay anything on capital gains under £12,300. So if you only make £6,000 on your capital gains, you get that essentially tax-free, or certainly personal capital gains tax-free. So we'll run through an example of a scenario where you will pay and what bracket you'll be in. But basically, there's a 10% and a 20% And this actually goes off your income tax comes into play as well here. If essentially you are in the higher, if including your capital gains, you're in the higher income tax bracket, you'll essentially pay more. And if you're below, I think £50,000, including your personal allowance, you will essentially pay a higher capital gains tax rate. So if this amount is within the basic income tax, you'll pay 10%. So if you're within the basic income tax rate, including your capital gains, you'll pay 10% or 18% on residential property. You'll pay 20% or 28% on residential property on any amount above this tax rate. So if you go over let's say your capital gains is 60,000, you'll pay 10% on so much and then 20% on the rest, because you're over that sort of £50,000 tax threshold. So examples, your taxable income, your income minus your personal allowance and income tax relief is £20,000, and your taxable gains are £12,600. Your gains are not from residential property. First, deduct the capital gains tax-free allowance, which is £12,300, which leaves you with £300 to pay. So capital gains on. Add this to your taxable income because the combined amount of 20,300 is less than 37,500. The basic tax rate, you're essentially in the basic tax rate band, and you will only pay 10% on your capital gains. If you go over that, of course, you will pay 20%. So if you're over, including your capital gains and your so your capital gains after, this is where it gets a little bit confusing. Your capital gains after you've added your personal capital gains allowance. So only anything over £12,300 you will pay capital gains on. And if you add that capital gains tax that you pay tax on to your wage and it comes to more than £37,500, you will essentially be put into the higher tax bracket. And then, of course, you also have to take your, once that 37,500 is only once you've taken off your personal income tax allowance, which is also tax free. So essentially, you have two rates. This is a bit more of an in-depth guide to it. I hope this is making sense to you all. But it's and then it gives you to kind of top this example off. You only pay £30 in capital gains. It's only 10% because you're in the both lower rates. So if you are a big earner and you're earning over £50,000 a year, you are probably going to be likely to straight away, if you make more than £12,300 on your crypto, going to be paying the higher rates in terms of capital gains. I want to touch on something very quickly that a lot of people are scared. A lot of people were worried about in the budget that Rishi Sunak came out with to sort of figure out how we're going to pay back all the debt that we've took out over the sort of course of the situation we all find ourselves in. That shall not be named. People were worried that he was going to up capital gains tax to 40%, so from 20 to 40% in the higher end. That is not true. There has not really been any changes. The only change to capital gains tax is that they're actually going to freeze your personal capital gains tax allowance. They're going to freeze that instead of, every year it grows with inflation by like 3%. By the consumer price index, they usually go off that. So by about 3%, it will increase. They're just going to keep it at the rate that it's at. So they are sort of hindering it in one way, but it's not as bad as that 40% that people thought. So not everyone has to move to Puerto Rico just yet. However, if you are perhaps paying a significant amount already, then it may be a viable option. I'm not suggesting anyone who does that, just food for thought. So that is all I have for you in this video, guys. I'm going to love and leave you. Remember, pay your taxes, guys, because they are very, very, very well guarded and spent. And that is all I have for you in this video. I hope this video hasn't been too depressing, and I hope it's been somewhat simple and I've clarified what you are going to be paying in terms of taxes on your crypto gains. So I'm going to love and leave you. Get subscribed if you've liked the content. Drop me a like and leave me a comment letting me know what you think and how you feel about the whole situation. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. I'll see you all in the next video.